Two, 91.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the B Plus Podcast. We are back tonight to discuss and review the new trailer for The Dark Tower. Since I have never read a book, I'm going to hand it over to one of my two co-hosts here.
All right. Well, it was a pretty exciting trailer. I watched the
Underworld.
The longest one? What? It's not Underworld. Trust me, I've seen every Underworld. That's not Underworld.
I'm sorry that you had to see every Underworld.
I saw the last one in the theaters like a dope. I just sat there and started kind of making fun of the movie because have a good time while I'm there. But hey, we're not talking about Underworld. We're talking about Stephen King's series called, well, this is the Dark Tower series, and it's 8 books. And he wrote them over a rather large span of time, and it ties in all the other worlds and universes that you can conceive of that he has had in his during his career or during the time that he was writing these books. And he started in the 80s and he finished it somewhere around you can say 2004, and I think there's a 2012 short story. So it's definitely going to be a really cool idea to sit down and try to explain in the movie format, which I find it's kind of like perplexing. Like, how are you going to do that? It seems like if it was this much material, how are you going to cram it into one movie or 2 movies? I felt it would have been better for like a series, perhaps. But hey, who cares? We're getting something in whatever package it's going to be coming. So, all right, I'll accept that. Okay.
Well, you said it's going to be one movie. Is that?
I'm just saying, like,
we're just speculating.
That's me giving you my interpretation of. Even putting it in the 3 movies, like, yeah, they got Lord of the Rings done in 3, but like, there's so much you can do.
Is there a book that's just called The Dark Tower?
Well, it's like the Dark Tower.
There is.
It starts with like, well, yeah, that's the last one, I believe, is Dark Tower.
Yeah, the Dark Tower is 2004, but then like The Wind Through the Keyhole came out in 2012. That's a short story, so it goes Gunslinger 82, Drawing of 3 87, Wastelands 91, Wizard and Glass 97. We got another one in The Little Sisters in 98. Wolves is 2003. The Songs 2004, and Dark Tower was also 2004. So you got 2 there.
And they gradually build to like 11,000 page books, right?
I was around people that were hardcore fans of this book, and they would commit lots and lots of time to being able to procure the book and then read it as fast as humanly possible. And they loved the series and the story, but I don't know how these people are going to react to this style of a movie, because like this starts. What does the trailer start with? It starts with a small town next to this huge structure built into a mountain by it, and we think that might be Roland's home, like Gilead, and it's really deteriorating. So I don't know what's going on. And there's this kid. His name is Jake, and he lives in New York, and he has like visions of creatures that Roland's fighting. He runs into the gunslinger himself. And he explains to him, this is the very beginning of the trailer, that light's meant to fight against the dark, and that's what gunslingers do. He has visions constantly of the tower, the men in black, and he draws them. So this made me I found out that, like, since he's drawing them, are they actually combining like 2 characters? There's Jake Chambers, who's like to a varied degree psychic, and I think in the last book they had another character called Patrick Danville, and he could like alter reality by drawing it. And I think they're just going to wrap them together. I don't think they're going to like keep all the characters. I don't think they'd have the time to do something like that.
Yeah. It was there's a lot of reloading in the trailer. It was like reloading the movie. Reloading.
Yeah, they did. I noticed that. That's really good that you pointed that out. I just said that when Ronan is fighting that mutant of sort, or that creature, and then later on in the movie, they showed him. Well, later on in the movie, later on in the trailer. They showed him fighting again. I'm like, oh, it's the same thing he was fighting before. It's like it wasn't something completely different. It was when there's like gunslinging action going on.
What's the name of the kid?
Jake.
Yeah. Apparently, the book had him get thrown into a car and die.
Oh yeah.
And now in this, he's walking through a portal. So Hollywood's not gonna do what's in the book, because obviously they can't kill a kid, which
they're gonna.
What about it?
Yeah,
have a child orgy in it. They
can't.
Exactly.
That's your favorite scene.
Fuck you, dude.
I can't help myself. Sorry.
It's crazy. Hey, man, it's crazy when you read it. That's all. Anyways, though.
Yeah, so they're leaving that part out, but
Well, you know, what you're talking about makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of stuff we see in his drawings, like even a Field of Roses, where there's the tower, which is like the last book's a cover, and there might be images of slow mutants, and there's one of the portal, and you're like, well, there is no portal, but there was kind of a portal in the story to get to Midworld, but this portal looks different. It has like technology surrounding it, and like the portal in like, I guess the book, as we would imagine it, would be less tech, but more like mystic, or I hate using this word, magic. And then like, oh, there was a really cool reference when Jake's psychologist tells him that the images he's seeing aren't real. A tremor shakes the office and the desk or the table that there was a picture on. And if you looked at the picture, it was the Overlook Hotel from The Shining. It's like the psychologist went to the Overlook or visited there, and he had a picture that referenced The Shining. And when Jake's in the woods by Ruined Carnival, and there's like this huge sign, the sign says Pennywise. And that's the reference to Stephen King's It, or Richard Bachman's It, LOL. He finds this old house, and that's where he takes that portal you're talking about to Midworld. But that's gonna there's another thing that might upset fans of the book, because Jake dies, and that's kind of how he's sent over to Midworld in the book. And then we see him arrive at Morheim, the desert. And,
yeah, I don't recall a lot of the names. I did read some of
that's the only one I was looking at out of all this. Like Morhaime, the desert, the Morhaime desert.
The concept's really cool though. I mean, like they can't tell you in the trailer and they do a good job of showing it, but essentially gunslingers are in that universe or world that he lives in, it's like an ancient order of these, like, they're monks with guns. It would be the best way. The way I kind of pictured it in my head when I was reading it, and like like you said, they were just these guys that protected. I'm pretty sure at one point they protected some kind of royalty. Now, like I said, it's been a while, but they protected something. And he's like the last of the gunslingers. And
he is the last one. They said that right in the thing I was just talking about. They get to this desert. Roland finds him really quick. He shows them like a sketch or a picture or a drawing of the gunslinger. Roland looks at this thing and he's like, there's no more gunslingers, which there isn't, because he's the last. And then we see the tower right after that with this really cool crimson and red background. And then there's a blue one too. And Roland starts to explain how the tower protects both of our worlds, which they really got to expand in the movie, because there's a lot of rules to the tower. And like, I'm gonna wait to see how that's gonna be like handled. And then he did say hell will be unleashed if the tower ever falls. And he fights there. That's where he fights the enemy that looks like the same enemy or monster or creature that he fought in the scene we were just talking about before. And then we get the Men in Black.
Nathan, are you gonna watch this movie?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I'm definitely gonna watch this movie.
You're gonna watch this movie?
I'm a casual fan of these books, but enough to know enough about, like, more than I guess I should. So when I saw this being made, I'm like, well, how are they going to pull it off with just like movie format, whatever?
What are your favorite actors in it?
So yeah. Here's the thing. You're like, yeah, but Idris Elba's going to be the gunslinger. I'm like, who cares? Idris Elba's in Luther. He was in Thor. He'll be fine. But when I found out Matthew McConaughey is the Man in Black, I'm like, no!
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
He's going to drive a Lincoln right into the fucking tower.
They'll drive a Lincoln into the tower, says that he's always driven a Lincoln. He'll be like, all right. And I'll be like, no, please.
I hate him too.
Make it stop. I had to suffer through Interstellar, and like with him in it, just because it was a Christopher Nolan film. And now, but I don't understand it.
We have to sidebar real quick. Hold on. We have to sidebar real quick and let the people listening know that you will not watch one of the coolest movies I've seen in a while, which was The Wolf of Wall Street, because McConaughey's
what?
in it.
You will watch that movie?
He's in it for 3 fucking minutes. He's in the movie for 3 minutes.
3 minutes too long. I gotta save all the time I have to be able to do Interstellar. Yeah, I saw that in the trailer and I want to throw up.
But it's such a great scene though. It's insane. That movie's crazy.
I just can't.
So you're gonna sit here and watch a 3-hour movie with your boy?
Well, if I expended all my energy with Interstellar and I waited all these years to be able to do it again, then yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out.
Is McConaughey a main character in
Interstellar? What?
In Interstellar?
Oh yeah, he's in the whole GD movie.
Yeah.
I just abbreviated, goddamn. All right, so we get our first shot of the Men in Black. It tells Roland that death always wins. See some faceless goons or mutants or whatever they are. They're definitely like corrupted. We see Walter, the Men in Black, and Roland having a conversation. So like you can tell these people like know each other. And he asks Roland if he had told Jake whoever walks with him dies by Men in Black's hands. And then we see the gunslinger shoot a mutant in the head, which was the coolest scene for me. Was he's concentrating, he's bleeding, he's trying to not focus in on certain things. He's got his eyes closed, and he shoots through a window, a shirt, a leaf, or a plant while not even looking.
Yeah.
And the bullet ends in this mutant's head, and it like, I don't know, it was really cool. And then they got to show some other of his ridiculous like revolver loading skills, which is just like, I don't even think it can be done by anyone in existence or in the past.
That was awesome too. That was cool.
Yeah.
I like when the underworld scene happened when McConaughey had all the glass or whatever was falling on him.
Mm-hmm.
It was straight up. It was
McConaughey. You can't call him McConaughey. Call him like Walter or the Men in Black. It's, oh my God, I can't believe this is.
His name does it.
Yes.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. It's obnoxious.
I just cannot.
Like, just watching Walking Dead and seeing that stupid commercial come on, it was just painful. Stupid Lincoln. I will never drive a Lincoln.
No. Let's see. So there's the scene where he says he aims with his hand, or who he aims with their hand has forgotten the face of their father. And then we show someone, like there's a younger Roland, and then his father we get to see is the Allstate guy. Because it's Stephen Duchesne.
Oh my God.
What we were talking about a little bit earlier and we didn't say yet here is fans that are much more into this book series than even myself are probably not going to like that a huge chunk of this movie is taking place on Earth. And in particular, it's taking place in New York City. Like, if you want a straight up adaptation of The Gunslinger, you might be disappointed because there's a bunch of promo scenes here where our main characters, whether it be Roland or Walter or Jake, we're all in NYC.
Well, I texted John before we got on here, and after I watched the trailer again, he's read the whole series, and okay. I said, is the Dark Tower present time? He goes, it's not even present world. I go, I see Manhattan in the trailer or a city similar to it.
Yeah.
He goes, there's parts where Jake was from the 90s New York, but he's dead. And in some other world, most of the series. They're also not really adapting it too closely, so who knows what's going to happen.
We're going to have to wait and see how close they want to go or how far away they want to be. I mean, hey, they cracked the joke. The ha-ha moment was when Roland's like, do you have guns and bullets on Earth? And Jake's like, yeah, you're definitely going to like it.
You're going to like it.
We saw the Men in Black walk through a house, and this is kind of important. It's the same house Jake used for the portal, and he taps a wall, and the words like formed, but they're already painted in red, and it says, all hail the Crimson King. So we want to know if the Crimson King's going to show up, or is he going to be a presence, or is it going to be in this part of the movie? We don't know. There's some crimson light in shots around the tower that make us think he will be around in some capacity, but the Crimson King's supposed to be a really, 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 really big deal. And we'll just have to wait and find out. What are they going to put in this movie?
I think I think it's going to be one of those things. I don't know that that it was really big enough to where like obviously fans and people who've read the books are probably going to hate it, but it might be like mainstream pretty popular just because the concept's really cool. I don't know if they're going to be able to. That's the thing about throwing this particular movie into this book into a movie is that part of the reason it was so cool is because it tied in Stephen King's other works. So if you're a huge fan of Stephen King, you read these books and you're going, oh, there's so-and-so from this book, or we're in this world from this book. But in the movie, it's probably like, I think
we're in New York.
Yeah. It's gonna be like, look at Hydra shoot this gun really cool. Boop, boop, boop. Do the reload. Yeah. Wow, he puts bullets in really fast. So I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but
you and I were together.
I'll probably see it.
We were discussing, and we were wondering, like, are you going to get something which we already talked about, probably not going to be a straight adaptation from The Gunslinger, or are you going to get like the Dark Tower series, as it's supposed to be a series, or are you going to get something that is like Dark Tower?
Like, Dark Tower Light, or like they're going to start from book one and go on, right?
Yeah, they might. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Depending on how it sells, I imagine they'd probably do like 3 movies and just condense the hell out of everything.
Like Lord of the Rings does. Lord of the Rings, the first book, was that called Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings is 3 different books.
Right.
Tolkien wanted to make it one book, but he couldn't because you couldn't put books together like that back then.
I think it followed the book.
The first one's the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah,
okay, it was called the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, right?
And then the second one, the Two Towers.
I'm just saying, if it was going to be like the Dark Tower and then the book title or the Dark Tower.
Well, if they're not calling this one the Dark Tower, the Gunslinger, then nah, they're not doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I honestly thought it looked pretty cool, but this is one for me that like I'll wait for, see what the reactions are to it, because well, apparently now the diehards that know the series inside and out aren't too thrilled. So
No, I agree. I know one or two people have been like, no.
I could, yeah.
Not gonna happen.
If I was around those people I used to talk to about it, I don't know if they'd be thrilled. They'll go see it, but they're not going to be like, this is going to rock.
Well, what's going on while we're here? And it is Dark Tower, which is Stephen King. Like, did Stephen King just sign like massive shit to like put his books to screen? Because he has Mr. Mercedes too, right?
I don't know. It doesn't.
I didn't hear about that. Yeah.
There's a book called Mr. Mercedes, I think, is being a TV show, is coming on a TV show. I could be wrong on that, but I'll check.
He might need a paycheck. His funds are getting a little low. Time to sign over some licenses.
Stephen King, Richard Bachman. Richard Bachman was a name he went by. It was his pen name for a while. Like, he was already Stephen King, but he did a couple books just under that.
Dude,
like,
it's set to premiere on the Audience Network fall 2017. What's an Audience Network?
I don't know.
Who knows? I've never heard of that
Audience Never Ordinary, owned by AT&T.
Not me.
Maybe it's like a streaming thing they're starting.
It's on DirecTV
Cool.
and AT&T Uverse.
Okay. Go watch it in the Uverse.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, AT&T. Brought to you by AT&T.
Yeah, sounds hip.
I'm looking at some of the cast here. We got Lagatha from Vikings, Idris Elba, obviously, from Luther. Abby Lee was the blonde girl in what was it, Mad Max Fury Road. We got what's his face, Workshire from Watchmen. Some good picks here. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Got Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We can do a podcast on why all of us hate Matthew McConaughey.
I don't.
Except for
You
him.
don't
He's got his-
okay.
I don't.
See those two doors behind him? If you open them up, there's a mannequin of like Matthew McConaughey. And it's got movable parts and things you can do that with it. I don't know why it's there. He won't show you. He doesn't want people to know.
I didn't care either way, like about him, until I saw True Detective, and then I was like, all right, I'm cool with him. I'm super cool with him.
Admittedly, he's a little bit more palatable in Dark Tower because he's the bad guy. Because I think he's a bad guy already. So I'm gonna see him as the villain.
I saw him as Walter, and I was like, no! Like I had like my reaction to the video was like, I didn't know until I saw it. Like when his face popped out, I screamed no, and I thought it was a joke. Like I thought that like you intercepted the trailer I was choosing to watch that time of the day, and you put in some weird footage of a movie I've never seen because I don't watch any of his movies. But then when I realized it was real, I was like, oh God, why is this happening?
It's just those commercials. I mean, before those commercials, I could have cared less, but like they're so bad.
Have you seen
those commercials?
I'm gonna fall backwards into my pool.
Have you seen True Detective season 1?
I have not.
No.
Dude, he's awesome in it.
Is he?
Like
Maybe I'll try to redeem him.
it's not like
The Redeemer.
It's not just he's good or he's fucking awesome in it.
Is he? Okay.
And he's
Okay.
No, I'm not. I don't. There's no
All right.
negative kind of. I'll have to check it out. I would like to
watch one of those, man. It's a very, very different role, but he's awesome.
Yeah, I mean he's a big name. I don't doubt his acting chops. It's just
he'll get top billed on this.
So it's a little irrational, but like
Absolutely.
him in that stupid car, just talking about how great it is to drive.
I just think that if I could see him in a role in True Detective on how he played that, I think that he could actually deliver as a villain in this movie.
Cool.
Yeah, that might work for you because I don't. Looking at him in this role, I'm just like, ugh, really? Great.
Right.
Well, that's why it's a good thing he's the villain. I mean, if he was
He's very,
he's
I
he's
already
dark.
don't like him.
True Detective he's a very dark character in it.
Speaking of dark, I don't want to cut off too far, but Joel, did you see or hear anything about 13 Reasons Why?
No, Michelle just finished it though.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah, she
I finished it. I binge watched that.
Is it awesome?
Yeah, it's dark. It's real dark.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. Well,
What was that one?
we'll talk about this off air. Is there anything else you want to say?
Hopefully they do it justice. That's my cautious optimism.
We'll see. I'll just like I'm just gonna sit back and watch it and take it for what it is. But like, I've watched people that love this series, and if they ding it up, if they kind of just like, bruise it too much, some people aren't going to like that. And I already saw that happening with all those shots in New York. We're back in New York. We're back in New York. We're on Earth. Hell yeah, New York.
Yeah. Avoid the internet after it comes out for a few weeks. There's going to be some angry nerds probably.
There might be.
All right. Well, as always, this is brought to you by Seftimor Live. This is the B Plus podcast. If you enjoyed it, please smash that thumbs up button.
Smash it.
Hit the subscribe. And we'll catch you next time. Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
No.
He's gonna win.
No.
Yeah, he's going.
He's
gonna
a
win.
man.
All time two awards. Matthew McConaughey. I don't want to hear nothing. It's gonna be awesome.